Hi everyone, this is Danny for Cupcakes Gourmet, and today we're gonna make this little bunny that I fell in love when I saw the drawing. So before we forget the video, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button to get all the notifications for new videos. And we're going to start right in the tutorial. We're gonna start with a little bit of white, and we're gonna make a square. You can definitely cut a piece of foam and then just cover it if you want to, but since I'm using the air dry clay, it doesn't really make the difference. But if you're using cold porcelain or fondant or gum paste, you might want to, because he is gonna be stacking presents on his hand, and if it's too heavy, it's gonna be, your topper is gonna have a hard time to stand. So if you want to do that, you can do as well. I just open a little bit of the white and we're gonna cut an envelope. So I'm gonna make a like a rectangle, and then I'm gonna just cut it again like a triangle, and then we're gonna put on the top of it to make that little letter that he was holding. If you guys want to see the drawing then I'm following, then I was inspired to make this piece, I will leave on my Facebook. If someone knows who draw it, please let me know, because I want to give the credit to. I saw that picture on Pinterest, but didn't have the link or the name. He had a link for Easter, but didn't have a link for names. So I open up and I flatten out at a very fast, easy way to make a bow. And I'm making everything that I need with the white clay first, and then we're gonna change clay, because that makes you gain some time too when you work. Make a little ball, and we're gonna flat just a tiny little roll to make the middle of our bow flat and place in the middle. I fell in love with this little bunny holding all these presents when I saw the picture on Pinterest, and I've been trying and thinking about making him for a long time. So since now it's like close to Easter, I was like, oh, maybe it's the perfect time to make it. And it's a little challenging because he's standing one leg and holding all those things, so it's always fun. I made a little ball for one leg, and now we're making the second one, but we're gonna already pull the excess up and make the little leg. One leg you don't see, that little part of the leg. And now for the body, I'm just gonna make a ball and a teardrop shape and bang, tap on my table just to make it straight. And then I already gonna place the little one that I don't see the leg, I just see the foot up there. So I am already gonna place right there and mark to make a circle. You can make a heart, you can make any texture. I just wanted to give a little detail on the bottom on his feet. And now I'm measuring to see if is exactly the way I want it. Set aside. We're gonna make a ball for the face, and I'm not using any styrofoam, just the clay. And then I'm gonna get the excess off just to make a little indentation where the nose are gonna be. It's a very easy face, but I wanted to try to kind of base myself on the drawing, even though I changed the color and I changed a little bit, but that's where we are looking. Make two little balls, and then we're gonna roll them out, and then we're gonna make the top part and the bottom part a little skinnier, because then you're gonna give the shape. When you flat on your table, it's gonna give the shape of the ears, just like that. So when you roll, and then you roll like just on the top in a diagonal motion, and then the same thing on the bottom, and you flatten out, they get on that ear shape. And then we're going to put it aside. Just be sure that the two ears are the same size. This is my favorite way to make balloons or hearts, like the fluffy way. You make a very thick teardrop shape, mark the center, as you guys saw me doing this 100 million times. And I'm just gonna use my finger to make everything smooth and fluffy. And then I am going to, anything straight, you have a ruler, anything, we're just gonna make a line on the outside, just like that. And then we're gonna make excess and little bars to feel like you sewed that together. It looks cute for any like teddy bear or stuffed animals, for baby things or baby showers or balloons. That's how I like it, and I think in the drawing was like that as well. So now we have a little balloon in pink, and now I'm gonna make a little tiny teardrop shape. Gonna mark the center to look like the bottom part of the balloon. You know, when you tie the balloon and you give the knot, that little top then is there. So that's what we're gonna do. Maybe like squish a little together so it loses the shape, because you don't want a perfect circle. Cut the excess just to be easy to put in place. A little bit of water, and we're gonna put it under our balloon, just like that. And we're going to open a little snake in pink, flatten out, and that's gonna be the ribbon. Then we're gonna wrap our present. I didn't wrap all around because I was kind of busy myself again on the drawing, but you feel free to wrap both sides. And since I was going to put on present on top of each other, I didn't need to go all the way around, and I was trying to make as lighter as possible. So that's why I cut the excess off. And now we're gonna make another little present, a little bit. You can play around with the shapes and colors. I'm gonna make a rectangle skinny one, and then the long rectangle one. I'm gonna see if I can put the picture here, since it's not my drawing and I don't know who made the art. I will put on my Facebook, and just please, if you know who did it, or if you did it and you're seeing this video, please let me know so I can, give the credits, because I loved it and you deserved it. So now I'm just marking around just to look like my little present was wrapped. And I'm making another extra present, a little longer and like height, and in the bright pink, just to give a little life. And another little balloon, like a very thick teardrop shape. Mark the center, and then we're gonna mark the sides just like we did to the first balloon, and make the X's and little traces just like we did to the first one. The same thing for the bottom. Mark the center just to give that impression. And now I made a little triangle, very tiny one, for his nose, and place right there in the middle on the face. So now I'm gonna put the wood skewer, and then you're gonna see that I'm going very straight at the body, because that's where it's gonna be my base, because he is kind of tilted a little bit, holding the presents. So where it's gonna be my structure is gonna be his leg, his bottom leg, and then the presents up there. As you can see, my clay is making mess on the wood skewer. Is okay because it's not completely dry, so when I do that, it's gonna pull up, but we're gonna cover, it's not a problem. And now with the flower wire, I am just cutting 2 little pieces, and I will place inside the ears, because I want to be sure that when they dry, they're gonna stew up. If you don't want them up, you want to then fold it, or just the top a little folded. So we need to decide now before it dries. And I'm placing a toothpick where his head's gonna be. So you see that that structure part of this piece is very important, because you want everything to balance and everything be able to stand. So always think about that. Where is the straight line, then you can make that wood skewer go totally around, like top to bottom, and then you can place in the base, and it's gonna be standing. And now I'm just giving a little life for the ear. Then it was already drying on my table. Put the flower wire, and then we are going to set aside, and then you can put it now on his head, or you can paint it first. One of the presents, I told them this pink was very like pink, neon pink, so I decided just to make little polka dots, and then wasn't enough for me, so I made a little flower around, like a little purple around to give impression to flowers. So I thought it was better because the pink was like way too pink for me when the clay start drying a little bit more. This air dry clay doesn't really change much, but the bright colors kind of get brighter, and that's what I thought then was a little too much neon pink for me. So I'm gonna go around with acrylic paint and just make a little details. With the chalk pastel, then I made the video to show you guys. After my bowl is dry, I'm just gonna go over where the indentations are, where they get it together, you make it darker, and where the light is going to be, you make a little lighter. So we're gonna go all the way over. I like to do bowls like this instead already making pink, because I think it gives a little bit more 3D effect and a little bit more of how I'm gonna say that, more like a see-through kind of effect, if that makes any sense. It just looks more real in my point of view. But if you want to make in pink, you can already make in pink and jump over this step, because then it's gonna be already the color you want. And I'm using a little white just on the top parts where the light will be touching it to give a little even more realistic look. So now we're gonna do the same thing with the balloon. We're gonna go with the chalk pastel and pink and go around all this sewing part that we did. If you're using gum paste or modeling paste or fondant, you can use this with petal dust. You can find it in any baking store and things like that. So just to give actually a more 3D effect to it, and to don't make that balloon be that color, that flat color, so it gives a little bit more life. But you need to wait for this to be completely dry. This for me is already the next day, probably not 24 hours because it was late when I started, but it's already dry, so I can go with my brush on top of it and I'm not gonna lose the shape. I wrapped around this little string on my present, but you don't see at the end result. That's why when I was editing, I took it off. But if you guys wanted to do it, you can do it. But it was kind of like a waste of time, I think. But I was doing just the shadows to look pretty. And this neon pink, it was still kind of on my nerves. So I was trying to get some purple and some blue just to give a little bit less neon look to it. So if I was going to make it again, as always I say in my videos, the things that I would change, I would definitely change this neon pink color. Yeah, definitely, because I didn't like it, and it took me a while to spread that out, and buff it out, all this purple and blue I was doing here. You can see that I'm speeding up the video, and it really took a long time for me to don't get this to mark. So I went back with the white, I went back with the blue again to try to fix something that you didn't like. So if you don't like something, like I didn't like this color since the beginning, just switch. Just make it again in another color, because you're not going to be happy like I am not happy with that color. So just change it. Start over before you put all your project, together and it's dry and you're still looking and thinking, I don't like the pink. So just change it. And now I'm just with our dark balloon color. Is like a strawberry dark red. I just put a little white chalk pastel to give a life. And now we're gonna start setting up this bunny, and he's gonna be holding all the presents. So that's what I'm going to do, and try to be mindful that I need my structure to be straight. So, try to make the body and the presents to be a straight line up with my wood skewer. So I know that if I set that in the base, where whatever I'm gonna set that is gonna stay. If you make your structure be on his head, you will be tilted, he will fall to the table, if that makes any sense. So now I'm gonna put the other little leg that is a little bit dry, but before I try to squish my leg up to the wood skewer, I am gonna pre-make a hole so I will not mess up the shape of that leg. So I made it I pre-made the hole, and so now it's gonna go way easier to go up the wood skewer and go in place like it do need to be. Don't forget, if you let it dry like I did, put a little glue, a little water to be sure, especially that leg, because that leg's gonna need to hold everything. So let it dry before you try to stack everything, because then you're just gonna squish all the presents, squish his body, squish the legs. So this one you really need to wait overnight to dry and then to put things together. And now I just put the other ear in place, try to see if I wanted to bend them a little bit just to give a little life to his face. And now I made 2 little hearts on an envelope, and I'm gonna place right there on the top of the present, and then we're gonna just put a line on top of it. I think I was still trying to hide that neon pink, so that's why I decided to put the letter there. Actually, the letter was already on the drawing, but I wanted to put more than a 3D effect, but I wanted to hide that. And then we're just gonna put this. It's the same color of the little balloon. It's the strawberry pink, and then we're gonna place like it's holding the present right there. And now I'm pre-making some holes and putting a little, like, it's a very tiny, skinny thread, like a kind of plastic. It's for whiskers, actually. That's what we buy this in Brazil. You know, it comes with a little bunch all together. But if you don't have that, you can get, I don't know, maybe some fishing line or something that you have that is a little white, so you can put these skewers, or just go, don't need to do it, but I thought that was a little cute detail. And I put 3 in each side. And now I had this pre-made already for nail. I think it's a nail decoration that I will never put in my nail, but it's perfect little bowl for my bunny. And then I'm using the chalk pastel when it's completely dry, just to buff it up a little belly. And I put that on the 2 circles that I put on his feet, or her feet, because she's a bunny, a girl bunny. She has bows on, and a little bit in the ears. I did also after. And I'm just gonna make 2 little tiny circles in black for the eyes. Nothing sophisticated, just 2 little dots. And now I got another type, like a silver flower wire, and make it like a S, like a zigzag kind of thing to hold the balloons. On the picture, he is holding the balloons in threads, but we don't have that, so it's not gonna fly. So I'm going to place them on the top of the presents, and they look pretty cute there. I hope you guys think like it too. And that's a really thing that I love, this air dry clay, because it's super light. If you try to do that with gum paste or cold porcelain, it's gonna be very hard and neck structure to hold everything up, because you're stacking clay after clay after clay, and the heart and the presents and the bowl. So you're gonna need really pay attention to get that structure to stand up. So that's what I was doing, trying to put them up. And if you need to put a little glue to hold things up in place after you're done, or after you know what you want to do, please do that too. I always use crazy glue for setting up things, because it dries faster than any other glue, and then you can keep working. And I'm using an acrylic base with a little bit of green. I got this egg at a dollar store like 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't going to use anything. I actually got my acrylic base and the green to put the bunny on top. But then I was staring at this egg, and I was like, you know what, it would be very cute if she was standing on the egg. And that's what I decided to try to do. So I put the green glued on the base and the egg glued on the green. And then we're going to let it dry and cool off a little. And we're going to make his hand. It's a very basic hand. Make a little roll. And then I'm just going to mark 1 little finger just to give some detail. But he is so worried. Actually, she is so worried holding the presents, and there's so much information in there that you don't need to go crazy making more than one little finger. So I'm just gonna place right there. You can make this arm be a little longer than the other one because it needs to be on the bottom of the present and it still need to go to the side of her body. So this one is gonna be a little longer than the other one, the other side. Even though it sounds weird, but it looks okay when you put it on your piece. So now we're going to glue the other one to the other side. And she is getting ready. Look at that. It's so cute. And the two arms are there holding the bottom of the present. So now we are going to try to glue her there. Like for the luck, a shot and the egg already had a hole. And the wood skewer went straight in perfectly. So I will set there straight up there and let it dry. And that's where you need to put that wood skewer very straight to stand up. And it stand up perfect. It looks very cute. I hope you guys like this tutorial. It's showing a little bit more of the structure part and a little bit more of this whole process. Please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And I talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.